Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Big Says Conversations. Today is super special to me. Today I have Mr. Anthony Walker here. This man is going to bring to us a story of strength, resiliency, overcoming adversity, power, and grace. You know, I don't want to belabor this, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Mr. Walker, tell the world who you are. How you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Sid? I'm Anthony Walker, and originally I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, and I moved to Bronx, New York City. And from there, I joined the Marine Corps. I did 22 years, as a matter of fact. At first, I wanted to just do 4, but I ended up doing 22 years. It was fun. During that time, I've been to Desert Storm, Desert Shield, then the OEF, OIF. So I've been involved in every war that the USA has.
All right, so for our non-military friends, OEF is Operation Enduring Freedom, and Operation Enduring Freedom
Enduring Freedom and that other word, it should come back to it, but we are just used to all acronyms. So
I've been retired since 2012, so I forget a lot of the acronyms. And since I've been working with the Marines, you guys have acronyms for everything, man. So I hear acronyms sometimes. I'll be like, could you break that down for me? Name and serves. All right. So 22 years in the military from Jamaica, Queens. From Jamaica, moved to the Bronx.
Yes.
So how long have you been living here in Okinawa?
Okinawa, I came here January of 2001.
2001.
January of 2001. And luckily for me, we were at war, so I had nobody to replace me. I didn't have any replacements. So I'm an embarker.
Okay.
And I had to be here doing all the embark stuff for 3rd Marine Division.
So when you say embarker, what does that entail?
Movements of troops, equipment, and things.
Okay, so for the Marines, embarkment is the Air Force version of logistics.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I can't. Man, I tell you, I try and wrap my head around the different acronyms and some of the terms that you guys use in the Marines, and I try and relate it to the Air Force because, 26 years, that's what I know. But yeah, I'm learning very quick that they're not always the same.
No.
I want to go back to how we met. Back in, I think it was 2019. I was in 2020. You came to my office looking for some information about was it education benefits?
Right. I was looking for education benefits at the time.
So, and I was a little intrigued because as we talked, you told me your background is like you already had a bachelor's in accounting.
Yes, accounting and business administration.
So I was curious as to like, what are you trying to do? So, and I don't know if it was you were researching information for yourself or for your son.
For myself at the time.
Okay.
For myself.
So, yeah, and I think we got as we were going over the benefits and stuff and looking at the different things. we just end up having a good long conversation, and you kind of
Certainly.
start sharing things with one. And I noticed that, you know, I think you were limping a little bit.
Yes.
And I said, hey, if you don't mind, you might tell me what happened. And that's when you hit me with your story.
Yes.
And that story changed my life. Man, I'm tell you, that story, I have shared your story so many times, and each time that I shared a story with someone, I say, hey, there's no way I can give this story justice. You gotta hear it from the source. And I think I remember telling you, I said, one day, I said, man, I know the first question I asked you is, have you written a book? And is someone telling your story on Lifetime or something like that? And I was just blown away that this isn't already captured on film. So, you know, enough of me talking.
Okay.
I wanted to set that stage on how we met and you sharing that story. But at the end of the day, I really want the world to hear your story and how you shared it with me. And we'll elaborate on that a little bit more. So the floor is yours, Mr. Walker.
Thank you. I would like to just go back again about that book story. At first, I wasn't comfortable speaking about the accident, bombing accident, because when I spoke about it, flashbacks, memories, and then I get depressed, anxiety, everything. But a few years have really passed by, and now I feel comfortable speaking about it. The incident in which we're referring to is, I was a part of a operation for a prison in Afghanistan, death ops, and meaning that our prison, in which I am not a prison guard, and when I got promoted to go there, I'm thinking, oh man, this place must be like Oz, you know, the movie Oz. Yeah. But it wasn't like that at all. And in this prison we have all Talibans, people that plant bombs, blow people. I don't know if you remember 2000, in mid-2000s, there were a lot of execution, green and blue. Afghans were killing their counterparts, whether it's French, Canadians, Americans. Those are the folks that we had to guard. And
I remember it clearly.
my job was just to do the logistics part, make sure that they have enough food, clothing, you know, the 9 logistics that would come along with dealing with the Afghan military and all that. But anyway, one day we were leaving a prison, and when we were going home, one of our team members, they were to go home to get married. So we were carrying him to the airport. So we were at a reduced team. And leaving the prison, for some reason, I was in car number 2, and the first car sped up and I slowed down. And right after that, I woke up in Bagram Hospital, you know, with IVs into my hand. And I'm thinking like, hold a minute, I was at work. What am I doing laying down here? And I asked my friends. So everybody's looking at me and I'm saying, where is so-and-so, where is so, and everybody just keep looking at me. And And then I realized, oh my God, they're all dead and it's my fault. Why I was thinking it's my fault? Because I was the driver. But that wasn't the kicker. The thing that amazes me was while I was in the car, for some reason I came out my body. It's me like, oh, I'm looking at you. I came out of my body and I'm looking at myself sitting down in the car and I'm outside the vehicle. And I'm saying, is this a dream? And I'm looking around, I couldn't show because I wanted to show people, hey, look at me in the car. I couldn't find anybody to show. And the skies open up and I'm looking up and the angel came down and came through the car and hugged me, wrapped his wings around me. And I'm saying to myself, this must be a dream. I mean, is this real? I'm looking at the angel and the road rumpled up. And the angel let me go. I was flying back up in the sky and I'm looking at this guy. Oh man, that is cool. But come to find out, it was a miracle happened that day. I don't remember hearing the blast, seeing with all the investigations with FBI, military, police, MPs asking me what did I see last, because that blast, nobody have ever lived from that blast to really tell what they saw last. And I could not remember. The only thing I remember from that incident again is that angel, and they pulled me out of the vehicle and I wanted to know how, I was alive. And they said I was the only one in the car moving. Another thing happened again. I was on the ground and I said, lay down, and the angel came back and called me by my name. Tony, if you lay down and close your eyes and get comfortable, you'll never open your eyes again. And I said, okay, I won't. I'm sure everybody around hear me speaking, but they don't know who I'm talking to. I said no, and then they said, lay down. I said, no, leave me. I started to yell at them, leave me. And they're like, okay. And I sat up. I did not want to lean back at anything because the angel told me, do not get comfortable. Of course, when the reaction force came, they came late because the Afghans ambulance came first. Nobody wanted to ride around in a thin-skin vehicle. So I tell everybody, no, this is fine, I'm fine, I will ride alone. So of course I call ahead, let them know. And when I got to Camp Phoenix, which is now closed. Now, the doctors, the first thing they do is poke my hand. They didn't look at my blood pressure or anything. And they said, son, the Lord have a plan for you, because nobody should live what you have been through. And a convoy were moving teams, and the team 2 was about a mile or 2 away, and they could hear the ground shake from the blast, could feel the ground shake and the puff of cloud going up. and they were saying, oh man, that is us, and everybody died. Nobody wanted to let me know at the time that the guy that was sitting beside me, my boss, shrapnel rake off his head. Half of his head was gone. The guy behind me, who we were carried to the airport to get married that week. Can you imagine the phone calls that I got to say, because his fiancée made all the arrangements. Call off the wedding because he's not coming home alive. In my downrange report, they say this patient cries a lot. I wasn't crying for myself, I was crying for my friends that died. They have wives, family, mothers, fathers, and I'm thinking they must have really hurt hearing that. You know, I was crying for them. I know I'm going all around the place, but when I woke up in Bagram, as I said before, I didn't remember about the accident because I was thinking like, although I know I joke around, although the angel said not to fall asleep, but he said not to fall asleep at the scene. Eventually, when I reached Camp Phoenix, I did fall asleep because they flew me from Phoenix to Bagram, and I woke up in the war there. And I still didn't remember what was happening. And it was one female in the group. She came over and hugged me and said, hey, they blow you guys up. And I'm like, looking at my hand, I'm like, okay, I have everything. So where's everybody else? And when they say, and everybody was looking at me, that's when I lost it. You know, but I keep saying to myself, why me? You know, I'm just a normal person. You know, I'm cheat, a liar, you know, like everybody else. So why me? But come to realize it's not just about me, it's the power of God. It's God showing everybody that He is God and worthy to be praised.
Yes. And you shared the story with me, and each time is I feel it. I want to take you back for a moment. You shared with me the news clip that's aired on YouTube, and I'll share some of that in the interview. You guys are in a formation, and you stated that the car in front of you sped up and you slowed down a little bit. Now, in the news clip, it shows the IUD vehicle impacting the first car. So I'm assuming that the first car saw that, sped up, trying to avoid it, and it contacted your vehicle, which was the second vehicle, right?
I don't think that was the case because we been in a combat zone for so long, they teach you what to look for. And we look for cars which is sitting low on the ground because of the weight of the bomb. And we were told that a white Honda car, well, everything there is white Honda car. And so we scanning the area But it had to be something else caused me to, so because we don't stop for any and anything. You know, no, oh, you know what? He didn't see the car, because I remember the first car, when him hear that bomb, he was laughing, the driver. My friend was laughing, ah, you miss me, because he was saying, you miss me. But when you look back and saw my car, because the bomb lift up every car there and put it in the ditch. And he was like, oh man, they got the second car. And they wanted to rush back to it, but the number 2 guy was in the first car and the number 1 guy was in my car. So the number 2 guy said, nobody moves. The Afghans military locked down the place that nobody could come in and out. And when they rushed over, that's when I was told afterwards that I was the only one trying to open the door. Now, the car was bulletproof, but with any bombing, nothing is bomb-proof, but the doors were sealed.
Right.
And I didn't know I was in a ditch, as you see in the video, and I was opening the car, so they pulled me out the windshield. You know, so that was how they told me afterwards.
When you showed me a picture of the vehicle, I to this day, I don't see how you survive that. That was truly the power of God.
Yes, because few things I've learned from this bombing. That I used to tell myself, miracles don't happen these days. I said, okay, I talked to God and he said this, and I said, no, maybe it's not. But as a Christian, I doubt certain things. No miracles on biblical days only. But God showed me that he does miracles then and he does miracles now. So that thought nobody can ever, well, I always believed there's a God, but now I know there's a God that does miracles these days.
Amen.
He does miracles. And I've learned, look for God. Don't make him come looking for you. Because come looking for you, you might not like how he's coming.
You said a mouthful.
Look for him first, but don't make him come looking for you, because you may not like it.
That is so true.
I want to say is that I had memory loss, almost total memory loss. I couldn't even leave my house by myself, because if I look back, I didn't know where my house was. I couldn't read, I couldn't drive, I was like I was 90 years old. Like I was at age. I said there, and I was in pain so much from my head to my feet. Although I didn't lose any limbs, but everything was internal. You know, God has humbled me because he showed me miracles does happen, but he showed me how to overcome certain adversities too. Because I remember where they medevac me to UAE, a Canadian hospital in UAE. It's okay if I call the name of the hospital.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And while I was there, and I look up to the heavens, I said, God, if you allow me to, why you allow me to live? Mark, I see all the angels and all that, but I said to myself, why you allow me to live if I'm to live like this? You know, but I went with that thought, and then when they medevac me to the States, you know, and when my daughter saw me, she was so happy. My mother seen me, and one day I went to the doctor's office. This is another incident again. I went to the doctor's office, and he was in the 3rd or the 5th floor. And my mind, I was still in a lot of pain. And my mind was telling me, jump through the window and all pain stop. You just walk away from pain. The devil talking to you. Now, if you think God don't talk to you, the devil certainly talking to you. Yes. He said to me, jump through the window and hit the ground, and all pain gone, and just walk up. Again, the daughter walked in the room. Said, hi, Dad. I started to cry. And I'm thinking to myself, I was so selfish, thinking about me. My family can see me, but my friends' family cannot. They have no chance to see them again. I got a chance to redeem myself for all the sins I've done. And my friends cannot. So from then, that thought has never crossed my mind again to kill myself. So I understand when people coming back from the war zone and their minds are just going down in that rabbit hole, what it is like. Because I've been there, down that rabbit hole. And every time I go down that rabbit hole, God show me a way out. Say, okay. When the daughter, the mother, everybody was glad to see. They didn't care how I look. My kids, my son too. They were happy to see me. Okay, that is okay. I was mom and dad to my sons and daughter because my first wife died. Breast cancer. They were 9 and 10. So I was mom and dad and in the military looking after them. So I know what it is to be a single parent.
Yes.
And have to come home and look after kids, kids that supervise them. Yes. And because of my accident, again, bombing, I've learned to be patient. Learn to be patient with everything. Don't quick to judge people. Folks who used to say, I don't believe there's no God, I would even talk to you. What? No, you still over there. And I said, because you don't believe in no God, I don't even want to talk to you. But no, I will talk to you. I will be your friend because who am I to judge you? I've learned to leave all judging up to God. Anybody can turn to God, no matter who you are. Could I be a murderer, rapist? Because when Jesus Christ was on the cross, and the two guys that was there, and one was saying, hey, if you are so God, just get us off there. And the other one, Lord, say, I will see you in heaven. So I've learned not to judge. You know, I've learned so many things. Yes, I still can't remember stuff because I still have my laptop to look back at stuff, my notes. My wife gets frustrated with me sometimes because she would tell me something. I don't cook anymore, I leave the stove on. Sometimes I think I turn it off. I try not to cook. Yeah, there are a few things I just don't I just don't do because of safety reasons. But God has helped me that I don't lose a limb. Because everybody, oh, you handicap. I remember I have the handicap sticker on my car, not the placard, just sticker. Went on base one day and this guy came downstairs and, why you call the car? You better have a handicap sticker. Just chewing me out. And what triggered me, he said, I'm gonna call the MPs. I lost it when I hear MPs. Like, for what? What did I do? And I was speaking to him. Gunny Walker show up right there. And the guy back off. Like, why are you yelling at me? I didn't realize I was yelling at. And then I'm thinking to myself, I better not get like that anymore because I have no control over myself. Right. I don't like to lose control like that I'm not aware of what I'm doing. You know, and yes, I remember, and I had to go counseling to talk about that day, why. You know, so in my mind, I'm saying he hates me, but I was told maybe he had a personal experience, somebody using handicap spot, and he doesn't like that, so I just want to make sure, because looking at me, I don't look at it because I was just standing there. Mm-hmm. I don't lose a limb or anything. I get that on and off base too. Till at one time I said, I wish I could lose a leg or arm that nobody would judge me. But you know, I said to myself afterwards, God allowed me not to lose a leg and arm, so why am I wishing for it? So that helps me again to learn not to judge people. The doctors them say, educate people. You don't have to tell them your life story, but just educate. Hey, I was in an accident, suffer from PTSD. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I don't remember things. And so if I ask you over and over, one particular thing, because I don't remember you telling me. And, yeah. So I educate, and everywhere I go, groups, things. The first thing I would do, I would tell folks, I apologize from now if I see you on the street and walk past you. I don't remember you. Who I remember from White House, I can't say. But I apologize for it. I don't want them to feel that I'm stuck up or something. I just say, I apologize for them. So if you recognize me, just come over and say hi. Where you're from, because one of my friend's wife, he's retired now. And I used to cook over his house every Christmas and holidays to eat, because he could cook a Jamaican food, and his wife is Japanese. And when she in the store, looking behind me, and she walk up to me and hug me. I says, me, I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And then she said, no, don't worry about it. So, some people will understand, some won't. But I just educate people. Just educate them. I say, hey, I'm like this. Also, my wife now, she had to go on base to take classes, how to handle me. Because they told her, when I'm coming home, I'm not the same person who I left. When I came back, I would be a new man, a different person. And those classes helped her to handle me when I'm in my moments. When I'm in my moments, with my, yes, I get anger outbursts. I was never the type to hit. I don't condone that at all. But I get mad with her easily, and she ignored me. And then I thought, oh man, what did I just do? I'm so sorry. I tell her sorry so many times. But she's patient with me.
Yeah. You are by far one of the most humble and patient men that I've ever met. I remember when we first met and you were sharing your story with me, and the fact that you were in there seeking further knowledge to keep your mind engaged. It moved me in such a way that after hearing your story and seeing what you were doing to just keep yourself, to better yourself, I felt like I had no excuse not to do anything that I set my mind to. So you motivated me in such a way that at the time I had started my master's program and started and stopped. But after hearing your story, I put my head down and I did not stop again until I was complete, because I felt as though I have no excuse. When I see an individual such as yourself who truly had to overcome so much adversity to be here, I have no time to waste. I have no time to waste. Earlier you made a statement, why me? And we talked about this when we did our little pre-interview. You know, I think back on David and Goliath. David was a small man. In fact, it was a boy. He was a boy fighting Goliath, a full-grown man, not just an average man, but a giant in biblical proportions. And he conquered him. Why did he use David? I would like to think that he used David so that he can see that it wasn't because of his physical prowess or his strength. It was truly, the glory of God was upon David. So when you say, why me? How did I survive this? You survived that adversity for me. You survived that adversity for anyone out there that hears this story that needed to hear it. Someone else may not have been strong enough to go through what you experienced and still be here to share that story. And I applaud you and I thank you for opening up to share that story, because I know it wasn't easy, and I know how much you've had to overcome to be able to tell that story. As a combat veteran myself, I've had my own things to overcome and battle with, but not to that level. So even to this day, you know, since we met, whenever I feel myself being down on myself, having a woe is me moment because I have lost people and whatever, I think back on your story, and it just gives me a quick kick in the butt. Shake it off, mourn, have your moment, and it's okay because we're human. Have your moment, but after your moment, get up and go do what you got to do. And that's kind of the attitude that I have when I talk with people, you know. And it's not that I'm trying to be mean or braggadocious or whatever. And we share this every day that we take breath, every day that we wake up and open our eyes. It's a gift. It's a blessing. So I think now, and I haven't always thought like this. This is something that I had to practice. I had to actually work on my mindset, not to take anything for granted. Focus more on just being thankful for the things that I do have versus what I've lost or don't have. Because not everyone gets to tell their story. Not everyone gets to get a second chance for redemption, or to see their daughter smile, or see their son smile, or to look in the face of their spouses. Not everyone gets that, and we have been afforded that gift, and I don't ever want to take it for granted. So, man, I tell you, every time I hear your story, it touches my heart, and I hope that the world gets out of it what I get out of it, because I know how beneficial it has been for me, and I can't thank you enough, and I appreciate it. I really do.
I just want to say thank you too for allowing me the chance to tell my story and to share it. And I just want to say I don't leave my house now without praying first. I don't. I don't even eat or drink or do anything first. I pray first before I leave my house. You know, because one day when that trumpet sound, because I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm looking forward to it. Yes. Trumpet sound, and if I'm caught off guard, God is a God that gives you grace, but He gives you freedom to worship. You have that freedom. So that's what I like. And I'm looking forward for that day.
Amen. Oh my goodness. Man. Thank you for sharing that, man. Thank you. This is, like I said, man, I've been waiting for this day from the time we first met up at Camp Foster when I was working with the VA, and you shared that story. And I think I came home and I immediately told my wife that story, and I've been sharing it ever since. And there's no way that I could give that story justice the way you did, and I've heard this story from you a couple of times, and I've told my version of your story several times, but each time it always moves me. So I thank you, because it truly motivates me. It helps me push forward. So when I have those, what's the word I'm looking for?
Me moments, or you don't feel like doing it.
That, or our procrastination moments. And that to me, that is a huge thing for a lot of people struggle with. But for me, procrastination, and procrastination can come in many forms for many people. And especially today, in our society today, it comes in the form of a handheld telephone.
Yes.
And they get caught up on social media, they get caught up on games, and just random gossip, and before you know it, 2, 3, 4 hours are gone that they could have been productive in some other way, shape, or form, whether it's working towards your education, working towards strengthening bonds with family, working towards being an entrepreneur, working towards your spirituality. Something can be done effective with that time, as opposed to this, or getting caught up, as you stay in me moments. So I try to minimize that as much as possible, because there's only so many hours in the day, and I want to make sure that I'm maximizing each and every one of them. And hopefully this interview today has been truly beneficial to any and everyone that has heard it. So with that being said, if you're out there and you're listening to this interview and you've heard this story, please like and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and let me know. If you want to hear more from Mr. Walker, please let me know. He has an open...
I would be glad to be back, and yes.
Open invitation anytime. The floor is his. I bow down. This is his platform whenever he wants to come and share anything. So definitely let me know if that's something that you would definitely want to hear. Mr. Walker, I can't thank you enough, man. Appreciate you coming here, sharing your story here on Big Sets Conversation. And I truly believe that it's going to be an inspiration to anyone that hears it. Before we close on this today, is there any closing words that you would like to share?
As I was saying before, seek God first, and don't let him seek you, because when I'm come looking for you, you may not like it. So
Amen.
seek him first.
Awesome. And with that, as always, take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. Peace.
Run it. can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Been ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem getting petty.